most important criterion for getting office in Nigeria is money. You could be a pedophile, armed robber, kidnapper, assassin, drug peddler. In fact, it can be all of them. But if you have sufficient money to now buy voters, you need money to buy police, army, to buy NDLA, to buy NDIC, to buy everybody
to buy
who has
security agencies.
Anybody who has a role with election. You even need money to buy CBN. Because if you don't buy CBN, CBN can go and change the currency because of you overnight. So as to frustrate you. Yeah.
How expensive is running for the presidency of Nigeria?
First, to go around the country and campaign, I didn't spend anything less than 500 million naira to go around campaigning, you know.
Just for campaigning?
Just go around the country.
Or your total estimate for your political race expense?
No, this is just for moving around. Logistics.
500
million, not less. Then, when we now came to the delegates, there were people who were giving delegates $10,000. There are those who were giving $15,000. There are those who gave $18,000, who gave $12,000. Let us assume that people give, let's take an average of $10,000. $10,000 that's one delegate per local government. So 774 people times $10,000, 7.7 billion. If you add up everything, a conservative estimate, you cannot win Nigeria's presidency if you don't have at least 100 billion. Naira.
Damn.
That is the minimum. But
minimum.
This 2027, more than 1 trillion naira will be spent.
Wow.
To win the election.
If Nigeria must begin to produce leaders based on merit, what do you think must change?
For me, first is a revolution. I'm not saying I must be president. No. The issue is that when God reveals, because we are men, the totality of his message may not be fully understood.
Did God reveal that you're going to win?
No, God told me go. He didn't say I will win. You see, Peter can win the election. But the problem is he willing to spend that money? Is he going to build the appropriate structure? As for luck, I think luck is already on his side because of the goodwill. But his tool is he has money, but is he willing to? Because Peter also calculates money. He will ask himself, is this money worth spending to be able to win this? Is it worth it? Must I spend it to win instead? Let me not win. Peter can say like that.
You spent months traveling across Nigeria.
Yeah.
Invested time, resources, money, hopes. At the end of it all, you got like one vote. At that moment, what was running to your mind at that point in time? What happens when a successful businessman, accomplished corporate leader, and a respected elder enters Nigerian politics and discovers that competence means almost nothing? This conversation is going to be one of the most important political conversations you've come across. We're going to dive deep into our democracy, corruption, delegate system, money politics, money over merit, and why Nigeria struggles to produce transformational leaders. This is Selahmeditate podcast. In this podcast, we discuss deeply on systems, money, and power. I remain your very host, Benzik. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it to those who will find this valuable, and make welcome my guest here, my accomplished corporate leader and the former presidential aspirant on PDP, Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here again.
My pleasure to be here.
If not, this is like our fourth interview together. Is it third or fourth, right?
Yeah, I think the one on business, multiple streams of income and all that, and or setting up businesses.
Yes, like systems and structures. One on system and structures. The first one we discuss more into your story when you were trying to aspire for the Nigeria's presidential position. That for first time, I think that was the first interview.
Yeah.
And the second one was the business and politics. Yeah. Then the third one was on the Biafra struggle with the war of Biafra.
Political volunteer.
The political volunteer. And they did very well. This one what to discuss on.
People are still calling me on, especially that political volunteer.
Yes.
Keep coming up.
Keep coming up. Now, this one is going to be on your experience during your race to join the Nigeria's presidential position. You wrote this book, this fantastic book, driven by revelation and inspiration.
Yeah.
And this chronicled your journey
Yeah.
through the race. It's quite a very inspiring book. When I was reading it, some places I laughed, some places I felt very emotional. And some places I had to shake my head about Nigeria. I said, Nigeria, it's God that will save us
Absolutely.
where we are going to. You spent months traveling across Nigeria.
Yeah.
Invested time,
Yeah.
resources, money, hopes. And at the end of it all, like you put in this your book, you got like 1 vote.
Yeah. 1 or 2 votes.
1 or 2 votes.
Yes.
At that moment, when you see the end of the result during the delegates counting, or what do they call it?
Yeah.
And you saw 1 or 2 votes.
Yeah.
What was running to your mind at that point in time?
No, nothing ran through my mind. I said, God, have your way. You have a reason for what you brought me here to do. You know, when I returned to the hotel that evening, my wife had called our children and started telling them what would he do, because she wasn't in the stadium, but she was watching the thing from the television. So by the time I returned to the hotel, they were making a strategy on how to calm me down.
How to calm you down?
We came into the hotel and I opened praise. We began to praise God and then ordered food and we celebrated like as if we had won the primary. You know, the other day, His Excellency Atiku came to see me in Abuja last year, October. And when he gave me a feedback of his appreciation of me, I told you, God, you are doing great, because he eventually invited me to support him when to join his campaign. And I was somebody that told him certain truths concerning how that campaign should go. So the point must be properly captured.
So you didn't feel anything that very day?
No, that I had my own victory was in obedience, because the odds were so much that somewhere I wanted to stop. You remember the place in my book I told you where I went to get 10 million from somebody to make up my money, and I was going to file my form, buy my form. It was closing on a Wednesday. This was a Tuesday. And the guy disappointed me, read it, and I shed tears. On my way to the place, a company that I didn't know, I served in that company, but I didn't know they were going to defend dividend. A dividend was paid that was 9.9 something. What I was looking for 10 million. I then began to cry. At first I was crying without making it visible, because I didn't want my peer and brother me to know I was crying of the insults and the hair. But I just told God, if I don't get this money, this is where this
is bus stop stops.
So at each stage, it's God. See, if you are in this, I must get to the end. If not, anywhere you stop me,
you stop.
I just want to be sure.
That day when they declared the result, you didn't feel disappointed. You just feel enlightened.
No, I just see
what was the emotion running through your mind at that point? Is it enlightenment, disappointment, or anger?
No, the emotion, all it has, it just convinced me that Nigerian political system has not changed, and it is confirming what I had always known and suspected. Now I am a frontline observer of the Nigerian political system and the intrigues that go in the process of leadership recruitment in Nigeria. I had now a confirmation of my thesis. So that was why the next day, when a day or two after, when Channel called me, and that was that I made that famous word they kept repeating, that when you see some people saw sufficient money and they forgot their father's name. When you see enough money, you forget who is your father.
That's exactly where I want to dive into. Now, if you can give us in detail, how expensive is running for the presidency of Nigeria? How expensive is it?
Let me go just back. When my younger brother, this politician, he just spoke with me while you were here, while I was here. When I told him, I presented my vision to the family in a family meeting. And everybody was making contributions. Like you said, a lot of other people even gave their own views and their own feelings about it, suspicion, and thinking that this is what I ought to do. So, but one man kept quiet. So, at one point, one of my brothers said, Senator, we're talking politics. You are saying nothing. He kept quiet. The first question, when he eventually asked question, he said, Dede, I know who you are. If I were to recommend you to anybody, in fact, when people do something that I love, the greatest blessing I give is may you have a senior brother like my brother. May you have a senior brother like that's his blessing. So, and if Nigeria were looking for a leader that will change this country and unite it, that he will nominate me. But that this is politics. He asked me, Dede, just let me know how much money do you have? When I told him the amount of money I had, he asked me whether this was for one rally or one event, or the whole money I had. He told me in 2019 December that Dede, if you want to start governorship, presidential, you should have minimum of 1 billion in your pocket. Minimum of 1 billion in your pocket. When you begin to spend it, then some people will see you and they can come and support you. But the kind of money you are talking, nobody can see you spend, I would think you are serious. However, you know, I fear God like you also fear God. I can never, and I know you are not a frivolous person, I cannot contest what God has told you. But that is, so I'm saying, now, let me tell you that during the convention, first, to go around the country and campaign, from the little money I collected, in my own way, little way, I didn't spend anything less than 500 million naira. Go around campaigning, you know.
Just for campaigning,
just going around the
country. Your total estimate for your particular race expense?
No, this is just for moving around. Logistics.
500
million, not less. Then, when we now came to the push, that is delegates, there were people who were giving delegates $10,000. There are those who were giving $15,000. There are those who gave $18,000, who gave $12,000. Let us assume that people give, just take an average of $10,000. $10,000 that times, at that time, they were up to, they were actually supposed to be, because before you used to have delegates 2,000 or 3,000, up to 4,000 in primary.
In primaries.
But luckily for us, the delegate figure was few because of omission in the planning. Let's say it was even 774, one delegate per local government. So 774 people times $10,000. Let's take average of that. Can you multiply and see what will give you? See what you give you. Then that is just delegates, not any other cost.
Those delegates.
So for today, and that was when money still had little value before the devaluation that has happened since then. 7.7 billion. Then if I paid that 10,000, but the person who won the primary paid more. Okay.
So if you are saying the person who won the primary paid, you are saying Atiku paid more.
So I'm speaking that it's an average. If you take 10,000 as the average, right, that's what you spend. If you add up everything, a conservative estimate will say today, you cannot, at today's money, you cannot win Nigeria's presidency if you don't have at least 100 billion.
Naira. Damn.
That is the minimum. But this 2027, more than 1 trillion naira will be spent.
Wow.
To win the election. Because it's being spent now. It's being spent.
Wow.
As I'm speaking to you, billions are being spent.
For the 2027 that is still
yes,
coming.
now. If you see, you have campaigns. Let me even give you. Take the presidential campaign today. we have our president. He's campaigning, and he's been campaigning. Now, let me give you 3 programs he's running. There's one they call Renew Hope Ambassadors, which my friend and brother, Senator Hope Uzodinma, governor of Imo State, is chairman. Go and ask him how much money is being spent to do renewed hope across Nigeria. It's in billions. Then see the one, Sheyi, who is the
son of the president.
Son of the president. He runs his own campaign, City Movement.
City Boys Movement.
City Boy, not boy, City Boy Movement. Then recently, Tinubu's wife, in order to also support her husband, has started to run what they call Renewed Hope Touch Bearers, women. I saw them on television using touch as their assignment. And yet the election hasn't started. The real campaign hasn't started. The advertising hasn't started. The billboards have not started. All the groups and all the hiring motorcades or vehicle, hiring stadia and places of meeting. It's an expensive deal.
Wow.
And we're still, what I spoke about was delegate money. This 7. We have not talked about the electorate. Did you hear what happened in Ekiti recently?
Tell me.
They brought bags of money and they were trading. How much money? How much? I'll give you 20. No, take 15. Open haggling. No. It was open. This was no longer the one we were doing behind. From the report that we read, both from what do you call them? These observers, Yaga Africa. They said there was open trading, what they call vote buying. So if you spent 774 or 7.4 billion buying 774 delegates,
yes,
how much are you going to spend to buy? How many people do you need to win an election? The last time President Tinubu used how many people? 8 million. So this time maybe we need 10, 12 million because people are. So how much are you going to spend on 12 million people to win election? Because nobody votes for free anymore. So it is a hopelessly expensive game.
Venture. If you personally, if you can estimate what it costs you during that race, even though you run with your business money, how much can you estimate it?
I told you that I remember that the primary just to run, I was 500 million.
500 million, yes.
There was no way I didn't spend another 500 million. Even when I was dealing my own delegates, while I had no dollar to give. So what I was giving my delegates was 250,000 naira. And my argument was that if you came from Abuja from Lagos or from Aruchukwu to Abuja, you will have come by air. That will cost you like 150,000 then. When you could buy it one way, 75K, not now, when it's 250. So then you stay in hotel, one cheap hotel for 2 days, 100K. That was so I was giving those 250K. So that 250K, if that diamond was less than $500. Today is how many dollars? About $200 or 250 or something. So that was what I gave. So what I spent in terms of physical cash will not be less than 1 billion naira.
Wow.
In my poverty and lack. But this was not all. A lot of people donated free services. I'll give you an example. This is my brother, Senator Mao. He didn't believe in my political journey. He's a practicing politician. And so he couldn't come out to support me. But he provided me with some logistics. If I went to Abuja, he'll give me his car. Sometimes I needed to travel, he'll give me a car. Some other friends will donate cars, pay hotel bills. So I'm not talking about those expenses. That will be at least 1/3 of what I spent.
Wow.
So if I spent 1 billion from my own resources, from what friends donated, what my other brothers gave me, from my shares I sold my Nimet shares, I sold my Resta Express shares, I sold my land.
Wow.
To make this money up. And then because people didn't believe in people who are thinking like you, didn't believe in me. So who want Jesus to come down before they can believe that he can send anybody on the message? So they wouldn't raise money. So, but I had to move. And like you said, and like I told you, there was a force
that was pushing
me. I could not, the only way I could stop is that I couldn't cross the bridge.
You started only when you were started, you have, I'm sure there was already amount of money that you have with you. Because in this book here, there was a point where you were even looking for 10 million naira.
Yes.
Come on, I looked at it when I was reading the book. I said, come on, 10 million naira is what Mazi is actually looking for.
At that time.
A home Mazi at that time.
Yes.
So it looked like when now you ended up spending only from your own pocket, like 1 billion naira.
Yes.
Before you entered the race, what was in your pocket cash with you?
Not more than 25 million naira.
Not more than 25 million.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned to my brother who just laughed.
And
he said, why I asked you that is that I know you're not a cash person. I know who you are. You are a money exchange. Money enters here and leaves there. You will have made 100 billion in your life, but it don't stay because you are in social activities.
You invest in
your travels alone to attend social events, burials, weddings, and all that is enough to, you're always everywhere and you haven't stopped. So what would this, so that was all. I had money. I mean, I haven't worked for long, but my money was in assets. So it was those assets
that I
started selling to now
to recoup,
to get the cash,
to get the money.
To be able to continue the. But when he asked me then how much cash, 25 million, both away,
home and away,
home and abroad.
Now, this quite, this one when I was reading this book, I was laughing at many points. And at some points I was very emotional because I said, what kind of stress is this just because someone wants to serve the country?
It is a stress.
Now, you see, Nigeria is quite very, very, very brutal when it comes to the political arena.
It is the right
It's
word.
very, very brutal. The system has not changed. You saw you were around in 2015, 2019. You saw everything that happened. And then you saw the fact that when it comes to election, people still buy votes, people still buy delegates, people still buy people. I mean, they bribe people in one way or the other. I was thinking in my head, is it that you did not put all these things in your mind before going into this brutal arena?
No, we're going back to the beginning of the story. The story is that when your father asks you, go and steal. I think they say, Igbo proverb. When I didn't go on my strength, I did not trust on my power, not my finances. I had a conviction. You see, when I believe in miracles, in case you don't, and when miracle will happen because you're there. Miracle happened. Jesus used Moses to do miracles in Egypt because Moses was available. You have to be available now. You can't sit in your house and be saying, God, do miracles, save Nigeria. God, please save Nigeria. And you don't show. Who will he use to save Nigeria? He wake you up from sleep. That is the truth. You must be present. Tomorrow, listen, even if we pray and pray, the only person who can be president of Nigeria will be a member of a political party. God cannot take you and say, come and be president of Nigeria. You don't belong to a party, you're not registered. In fact, you don't have voter's card. How can God take you? So God expects you, if you're praying, your prayer must be backed by action. That is what they call faith. So my faith, based on, I admit that I have what I call my chapter there, I don't know what name I gave it, that I have an insidious desire to serve. I restricted myself because I was thinking logically that where is the money? Where is the vote? What is this? Those things kept me away. At a particular time, a force came behind me that made those things no more an issue. Just move. So I moved. So it wasn't as if anything surprised me. Nothing surprised me in what I came out for. It's just that you validated what they call, in in philosophy or even in science.
Or in theory and practical.
You put a hypothesis, then you validate the hypothesis.
Validate it.
That it becomes a theory.
That's what you did.
Yeah, what I did. So I validated the hypothesis that Nigeria, according to Professor Jerry Garner in his introduction, he said the Nigerian political system is famous for preventing God's prophecies to come forth. Because he is political. He himself may have received some political motivation or revelation. Many people who are in politics, many feel they have received. So he may have received, and yet he didn't become president. He ran.
Do you think in this current Nigeria that we are now, in this current setting, and this and the experience, because now what happened is that now you have a first-hand experience,
Yes.
direct,
Yes.
in the race of Nigeria's presidency.
Yeah.
Can you categorically say that it is possible in this Nigerian setting for any good leadership, any person that is good enough to emerge as the president of this country, that has a good heart without actually really spending? Let's remove
Without
spiritual things
Without
around it.
Without
Let's say even if you spend your money, but you are a good leadership, you are not corrupt, and you are not willing to bribe hands and all of that. The spending you are going to do, you have to spend the right way, not bribing.
I see my understanding. Nobody can win Nigeria's political presidency first without being in politics. One. Without having some reasonable amount of money. And then God can use him. You see, I believe that God can use somebody who is not the richest, who doesn't give the highest, who doesn't spend the highest.
Let's remove whether God can use anybody. I'm just going realistically and logically.
There are two things.
Is it possible?
See, today.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's coming for me to remove God. But assuming I would say, okay, let us God
look at it
logically.
Yes.
Let us use the eye with which we are seeing as men.
As men, exactly.
You can't win. That's what I call it. You see, I call Nigeria as a monetized political culture. Monetized. And I was still talking about monetized there when I was still at the level of primary. I never go to main election.
To the main election. This is just primary.
Primary. You know, I already knew about, in one of the years, my brother, I saw Nigerian politics through the eyes of my brother because I was the person behind him. But there was one evening we were preparing for election. I think when he wants to run for the Senate, first time or second time, or the House, I don't remember, one of the elections. You know, he ran for the House 3 times, you know, and won the 3 of them. Then he went to the Senate, ran 3 times, won once, lost once, and the other one was removed by court. So, court denied him. So, I saw politics. So, one evening, just before the elections, people gathered in the house, and money was being given to people so that they can use to clear the road on the election day. So, one woman was there who came with somebody else. And they were giving money so that they can use to clear the road. Like it was agreed, like people will be giving 1,000 to 2,000, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. So do you know that the next day she was seen in another line going to vote for another person? So they called my attention. So I came. They were showing me the lady on the line. So I called somebody. I couldn't go there directly, you know. So I said, call that girl. Call her. He said he refused to come. I said, tell her Mazi is calling her. She reluctantly came. I said, I understand you are not going to vote for my brother. He said, is it this 1,000 naira again? Somebody's giving 5,000, you give it 1,000 naira. How will you vote for the person who gave 1,000 naira?
So it's about who paid more.
I'm telling you, and I knew this before I went to. So I'm not telling it happened after my experience. I knew. But how would Nigeria be saved? Is God beyond saving this country? I say no. How will he save? He must use somebody, and he must be present to be used. That's why I went. Good people are still in the system. God will hear our prayers and he will send a good person or turn their heart. You see, we have seen situations where people were saying they were not good people. They got into office and they changed the system. They say, Wolf, look, we've come from a dirty environment. I have fought my way dirty because that's the only way to get here. Now, from today, we'll draw the line. We cannot pass. I don't want to leave this place the same way I met it.
Have we seen anybody like that?
I've seen, not in Nigeria.
Where?
It's there in history.
We don't want to talk about history.
No, it's there in history.
No, this is...
It's there in history.
my son.
So in Nigeria, listen, coming to your point, today,
Okay.
it's like swear. When people ask me who will be president in 2027, but I don't want to say it in the open here.
You can see it now.
No, I can't. If I say it, then I'm being judgmental.
It's your opinion. It's objective.
No. I'm a political man. I'm a member of PDP. So I have a political, we have a candidate who running as presidential candidate. So I cannot say anything against him. But I already know who will win this election. Using the eye, that eye you want me to use, the eye of reality, the eye of what is the reality of Nigeria. Let's leave sentiment. Let's leave God's miracle aside. Because God has the right to overrule all that we're saying and do what he wants to do. I believe he will do it. But let us assume he refuses to intervene, because it's clear that maybe he may decide not to intervene. It is also his sovereign will. Because, God, see, God sent wicked kings to the Israelites.
So we are still going to tell like Bible. I want us to talk to
No, I
Nigeria.
cannot leave Bible. If you want me to leave Bible, then I walk away from here.
My life has to be realistic.
No. Bible is not unrealistic. It's not. It's not. You draw lessons. I'm just telling you, this lesson I'm trying to draw to you is applicable. God sends a bad leaders to punish the people. So, So what I'm saying is that when this country has bad leader, it could be punishment for Nigeria, for us, for our collective sins. So that is one point that you might take. But the issue is there is a defined political culture now. Nigeria has a defined political culture.
Can you list them?
Yeah, defined political. First of all, you cannot get to any office in Nigeria today without having tons of money. In fact, the most important criterion for getting office in Nigeria is money.
Okay.
You could be a pedophile, armed robber, kidnapper, assassin, drug peddler. In fact, it can be all of them
combined.
But if you have sufficient money, first to buy delegates. Delegates don't need anything but money. I remember during my own primaries, when they were calling us to come and speak to the delegates, so they were calling candidate by candidate. I was busy with my iPad trying to adjust, because they say only 5-10 minutes to be able to present my points within that time. So I didn't want to go and start speaking off cuff and you won't meet your point. So I was arranging one of the presidential candidates mocked me. He said, see, professor, he's writing thesis, so they go there and talk about economics. People should tell him that delegates, this is not the time delegates listen to the economic theory. He should go and tell delegates what he brought for them, not economic theory. That's what this is all about.
That's what they're interested in.
Yeah. A candidate was mocking me, calling me professor, that I'm soon going to be talking economics. Delegates are not interested in economics. So that's the point I'm trying to make. This thing I'm saying is validated not only by what the man said, but by the results. Okay. So
that's number two.
You must have money to buy delegates. You must have money to now buy, if you become candidate, to buy voters. You need money to buy police. You need money to buy army.
Even police.
You need money to buy NDLA. You need money to buy NDIC. You need money to buy everybody
to buy
who has
security agencies.
Anybody who has a role with
With election.
With election. You
Even
even need
lawyers.
money to buy CBN.
Even lawyers.
Because if you don't buy CBN, CBN can go and change the currency because of you overnight, so as to frustrate you. So forces are made. You have to have money to deal with forces. So that is
number one.
Number one. Number two is that you must have this thing they call structure. Structure. The reason you have structure is that I have seen that in an election, somebody who had the highest money, who paid the highest money, lost the election. Which is putting a comma to my theory. The theory comma is that the people voted based on all you say they should do, but you were not there to defend the votes.
Okay.
They were able either to steal the what do you call it, the box,
Ballot box.
run away, or convince people to change the votes,
Figures.
or even go and write a new figure. If you are not there to fight and struggle and oppose, and people will do anything against you.
Can't money buy all of that?
That's what I'm saying now. But money is, that's the extension of money, though. But I'm saying taking money, I'm using money now in the area of pay for the services. But beyond that, money cannot stand alone. There must be man to do this protection I'm talking about. So you may have money, if the money is not given to agents, somebody eats the money, you had money, but you couldn't win the election because your agent couldn't be there to defend. I've been in an election where there are illiterates, and somebody who has a very good structure is able to deceive the illiterates to vote for somebody else.
Wow.
You know, where they're going, like those ones that press their hand. Something. That's how some people know.
Some people know.
So instead of mado, how broom,
just put hand.
so you need people structure. And when you see people like Nyesom Wike talk about structure, he wants to, if you want to look for his trouble, take away structure. That's why he will be in Abuja and things are happening in Rivers. It's not there. It's because he has structure that he had built, where loyalty has been properly established, where there's a structure that is properly greased and serviced. So anybody who wants to win an election, especially at the presidential level, must have structure. Take President Tinubu, his structure is unassailable. The structure he had built in Lagos, then the ones he had been building from the day he became president. Every appointment he makes is an opportunity for a new structure. If you know the different support groups for him, they are uncountable. Half of them, to be sincere, he doesn't know about them. And he's not the one funding them directly, if not more than half. These are beneficiaries. But that is part of the structure building. Creates people who have opportunity to some, resources, which that can then support you in your election. So money, structure.
Number two, yeah.
If you ask for number three, it is some bit of, whether you like it or not, some bit of luck. Let's use luck now. Let's add luck. Because the money I spoke about will buy everybody buyable. The structure will stand behind that money to make sure it is. The third one will just be luck. Because everybody believes there's something called luck, even if you don't believe in miracle. So you can be unlucky after you've done.
You can do all of this and be unlucky.
Yes.
Typical example of President Jonathan when he came for the second time. He spent money, he had the structure, and he still lost the election.
So you can be unlucky when people decide to betray you. People can betray you, not because of anything, but because of some more mundane considerations, either religious consideration or ethnic consideration. People who are following you may just leave you at the last time. So I don't know what I would call that, whether it's misplaced structure or luck. or loyalty. But let's just put all that under the bracket of luck.
Luck.
If you have these three, what do you want to be? Just, you can become it. Politically. Yeah. You don't need to have experience. Experience doesn't matter. You don't need to have competence. Competence is not important. You don't need to have character. Character is still relevant.
All these things are irrelevant.
They're completely irrelevant.
The major things are money, structure, and then just luck.
Just luck, yeah.
Now, so in this structure or political structure you've listed now, do you think it's possible for someone like Peter Obi, even with all these things that is happening, do you think it's possible for him to win in 2027?
Why not? Peter has money. Don't mind his pretenses. Peter has money. One, he also has who are willing to give him money because of who he is and the seeds he has sown. Do you know there's no man in Nigeria who has better connections than Peter Obi? Oh, do you know how much Peter, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law died, Peter was there. I did my birthday where Peter was there. Anything I'm doing, me alone, no, Peter will be there. I'm not even his party. I'm not his townsman. And he's a wandering visitor to many people. And there are many things he has been doing long time. Do you know in 2000, when he was governor in his second term, I think he was governor to 2000 and what? One of the years, I came to speak in Anambra. We were not friends at the time, but he knew me and I knew him. I was a speaker at a Manufacturing Association of Nigeria event. And they started late, and I had to get a flight to take me back through Asaba from Oka to Lagos because I have other things to do the next day. So I began to complain to the organizers that, see, you've killed my time, and I need to be, before I get to Asaba, I don't want to miss this flight. So Peter had my complaint. So immediately I finished speaking, and I was about to run out. Do you know, Peter came out, took a few things from his car, asked me to enter the car. His security should lead me to Asaba Airport. That was how I managed to get the flight. So I rode in his car. He now went to the alternate car. You know, they normally have two. He didn't ask me to enter the alternate. That one he came with. I entered, sat on the governor's seat. That time I had no nearness to politics. I had no inkling. I'm saying when I was still
in business,
a CEO, you know, but I came to speak on behalf of MAN, Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. And I mean, I came to address MAN. I was a guest speaker. MAN was doing an event. He did that for me. That was even how our friendship began, seriously, because after he done for me, I see a guy who can do this for you must be a good person. A governor, pay attention. I didn't to complain to him. He just had me. And he came and did that. That was before he finished. That is Festus in the second time. And then since then. So he has built goodwill. Let me tell you, in case anybody does not know, Peter has goodwill. These things you think you call organic, obedient or non-obedient, half of it is his goodwill. People have found him like a human being. Over time, I'm traveling. I mean, it was intrigued me as a governor. Peter will come and sit in economic class with me. You know, he will arrive at the airport. He will drag his luggage alone.
I mean, all these things, he has been doing them even way before. It's not that he started doing them because of this.
So he has built that love of people who saw him as different leader, who was not like all of us. He was different. So Peter can win the election. He can. But the problem is he willing to spend that money? Is he going to build the appropriate structure? As for luck, I think luck is already on his side because of the goodwill. But his two is, he has money, but is he willing to? Because Peter also calculates money. He will ask himself, is this money worth spending to be able to win this? Is it worth it? Must I spend it to win instead? Let me not win. Peter can say like that. So otherwise, he has the money and he can raise it. Then the one of structure is where he is the weakest.
That is the weakest point.
So weak because he has just left Labour and he has just is in NDC. In fact, today I'm here at NDC. They have cancelled the NDC.
NDC is what they cancelled.
NDC today.
NDC today now. That's a recent news.
That's a court judgment. Say they should remove NDC today. So I hope it will end up as a joke because I think this joke is being carried too far.
It's carried too far.
So unless some people are looking for trouble, they will get in trouble. So that is weird. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his advisors are telling him, but I'm not his
the part
advisor.
Where I'm not mentioning is that apart from the money that you say he has, the structure, and the luck which is already on his side.
Yeah.
The money he already has it. Whether he's willing to spend it on that.
It's a problem.
Let's assume that he's willing to spend it.
Yes.
Let's assume he has the structure.
Okay.
And then the luck is already on his side already.
Yeah, yes.
You have not mentioned one critical part of it.
There's not that critical part except
he's an Igbo man. The Igbo system in Nigeria. Have you dealt with that?
Well, I believe that is a problem.
A very key one.
Because I can tell you something. When I was running for office, I went to meet one general. Let me not call his name. From the north, very well-known general. I'm told that none of the coups that were carried out in Nigeria in those days that he didn't know.
That he's not aware of.
He's a very well-known intelligence person. So I went to him somebody asked, during the time I was consulting. I went there's nobody, I didn't go. So they booked an appointment. Somebody went to book an appointment for me to come and see him. So we came. So as we came that morning, that day, he took me up. So I entered this room. That person that brought me sat here. So I entered this office with him. So I began to tell my vision, what is bringing me here, the motivation I have, the revelation, and what I want to achieve for Nigeria. When I finished, he said, Mazi, I'm a believer. I believe in what you are saying me. I am bought over.
That's what he said.
But let me tell you, you are not the person who convinced me. I was already convinced before you came. I said, how? He said, this boy that came to book appointment, the day he came, he was just driving out. The guy just met him at the gate. He said, okay, enter my car. So it's a young friend of his. So they were going somewhere, and he was telling him that this one Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, one unknown quantity, who wants to run for president. Guy. He said, which kind of character is this? We don't know about it, blah, blah. Till they got to where they were going. A very distinguished politician. They went to his house, Igbo man from Anambra State. So when they got there, he used to be a senator. When they got there, he now, because the story the guy was telling was not making sense, he now called him and said, my friend, come and tell us this your story of this year, Mazi Sam. So he began to say the story. Then that politician said, excuse me, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa? He said this. Oh God, is it possible for such people to be given opportunity to govern this country? This country will be a different place. That is what that guy said. And that guy has his friend he trusts. For that guy to say that word, that was what brought him over. That all I have done now is just to reconfirm from my delivery and my passion, he now believes. But that I'll have a problem. I say, what's wrong? Well, you say what people are doing, I pop. And I say, I pop. How does I pop? Say you are killing soldiers, you are killing police. How can that? That's going to work against you. Let me not say more.
We're not talking about Boko Haram and terror that are killing
Wait, let me not
police.
talk more. I just say, sir. First and foremost, the fact that I'm here shows you that I don't buy IPOB philosophy of not participating in Nigeria. Because IPOB today is saying there should be no election.
Yes.
They shouldn't participate. But I'm here. So it's an example. the truth of the matter is that IPOB is just an example of the problem with Nigeria.
Exactly.
Every segment of this country is feeling maltreated, misjudged, and marginalized. And it is not only IPOB. If you look around the country, things are happening. Maybe IPOB has more vocal, but it's the same. All of them are symptoms of a country that is not united. That's what I want to come. I want to make this country one country where everybody will feel well treated. It will be it will be like a forced marriage, a marriage of people are mutually satisfied about the country. That is where I'm going to. So he said, well, let's see how it works. I said, excuse me. When he got up, I said, excuse me, sir. I said, as I see you, you must be getting close to 80. He said, he's 79, he'll soon be 80. How did I know? I said, well, I looked at your age and I know my own age. Sir, I want you to just assume that you die tomorrow. He said he's not dying. I say, you are not dead. You will not die, but just assume. And then the dead see. Now look back and see the country you're going to leave for your children. Was it the same country your father left for you? So we started walking down. I followed him. We came down. He met that guy. He said, this is your man. He's a very tough man. Okay, so I remembered it because I don't know whether I mentioned it in this book, maybe not, because of that issue, Igbo. But the reason why I believe that matter may not be as acute as it would be is that Mr. Buhari came and the North thought that Buhari, every matter is settled for the North. But it's the same North today that tell you that Buhari was a failure in terms of what benefit did they get. I do know that some people even think that someone like Obasanjo didn't do anything for the Yoruba. The verdict is still out on Tinubu, whether the Yoruba will feel that they have benefited. I am beginning to think that because Nigerians still feel they haven't gotten to El Dorado, they haven't gotten to where they want to go, they may be more willing to try out anybody else because they will say, if we could live with this one, I'm sure we can leave this one. Even when I was running for office, one of the platforms on which we were running was the Eastern or the Southeast. I got people from the North, even up to today. People from every part of Nigeria who truly supported me and who supports that is let us give the people from the Southeast an opportunity. Across the nation, there are people who truly supported or who will support Obi, whether it's Igbo or not, because they are tired of looking for somebody from their village or their religion, and their lives have not changed.
Now, this
because today, people, if you ask somebody, I mean, I don't know whether you've been in that situation before. There was a day I had serious malaria, and I'm willing to give every money I have, just let me be well and eat food. Malaria. So if you go to those guys who are suffering from this problem of banditry, terrorism, where chiefs are being captured, where traditional rulers are being captured and they die, generals are being captured and they die, school children are being captured, the people are saying, where will salvation come from? Wherever it will come from, we're ready to deal with it.
What you are not including in the fact that you are thinking that people are not already facing all these things you are saying. Nigerians generally, especially the poor, they know they're already facing all these things, all this problem. But where you are not seeing or you are not mentioning is the elites. You are failing to understand that Nigeria political system and structure, like you mentioned, has not become very credible and open enough that anybody can legitimately get to the top. Because when you're saying all of these things, the problem is that you're thinking that okay, apart from money and all of that, people can legitimately get there if you spend a lot. You can go to that place with spend a lot, but you have taken away the people at the helm of affairs, the elder statesmen that we have, the elites that we have, the courts, and all of those people that are holding Nigeria captive. The citizen could be united in the suffering, but if those people are the top there that are determining who becomes Nigeria's president, they don't make way. How can that be possible?
No, the point is this. Can I tell that Tinubu was not the choice of those people?
To me, I would say no.
He was not.
To me, I would say he is.
Was. No.
To me, I would say he is.
So I can tell you he was. No. Can I tell you why?
Why?
I'm giving you evidence. It's not emotion.
Okay.
Tinubu, until the week before the election, the week or 2 weeks before the election, had been discounted by APC. The president of the country told his party leaders, when you are choosing your successors, I gave you free hand. Will you give me a free hand? They say yes. 2 weeks to primaries, it was then the president selected Mr. Lawal, the Senate president, and told the party chairman. When the party chairman now announced it, that was when El-Rufai and his group led the coup to go and meet Buhari and said, no, sir, it's not fair. You cannot do this. We're finishing 8 years. That battle was led by people like El-Rufai. I followed through because I was a presidential aspirant myself. So his party did not want him. The president did not want him. I made a joke here with CBN. CBN did not want him. Many people, even including people who were close to him, didn't want him. That was why they're taking pictures of him. Who was taking those pictures? I'm sure.
You are saying all of this. Are you going to say that, does that mean Tinubu won the election free and square?
That is where we're going now. We're saying is, as far as the law said he won the election, he won the election. Because you must believe the law. Otherwise, we have a nation of chaos. That's why I believe today, I do not say the court is bad because they didn't judge for me. The court is good because they are bad and the good cancel. So let us take what the court says. That's why when they say which chapter of which fashion of PDP, I say I'm not in any fashion, but the fashion that the court recognizes, the law recognizes that. Because somebody must settle the problem. If it is what I say is right and what you say is wrong, how would there be peace? So Tinubu won the election according to the law that we have. So my point is not that. My point is where his question is that, was he the one selected by the leaders? No. I can even go further. In PDP, when I went to talk to the PDP leadership, especially the chairman of the party, when Wike had formed the G5, because they just wanted IU to step down, I went to them and said, see, what will you lose, IU, if you step down? Because our presidential candidate is a northerner. You, the chairman of the party, is a northerner. And what they are saying is, let's give a southerner the position of chairman. Because you even said it. It's on record that you said it, even though you're denying. After persuading him, and 3 hours, he had to call somebody to ask me that I've taken his time, secretary of the party, that I think Wike sent me here to speak on behalf of Wike. The person came and said, look, Mazi Sam is our elder brother, he's a statesman, he speaks his mind, he loves this nation, he loves this party. He is speaking what he believes in, not that he's speaking on it. He's too much to be bought to speak on anybody's part. The guy now said, okay, don't worry. Don't worry, Sam. Don't let your heart not be. The North is with us. Whatever that meant. So my point is, Tinubu had 3 things. He had money, he had structure, and I think luck worked for him. He became president. When he went to Abiyokuta to speak, that Emiloko speech.
That changed everything.
How many weeks was it to the primaries? It was not more than 4 weeks. At that time, he was ready to Asika Acha. He began to abuse Tinubu, Buhari. He came the first time, he tried. Olele, he died, he failed. He came a second time, he failed. He spoke out of anger because it's at the time of if I cannot pass, let's destroy. I've been holding this thing back. After that speech, things change. So this is why I'm saying those people you think are the who must agree. I think their powers are beginning to decline. Their influence is beginning to decline. And it has been found that there's something bigger than influence, that is money.
Now, many Nigerians...
Are you hearing that point?
I understand that
there's
point.
Something bigger than influence. The name of that thing is MONEY. Money.
Now, you've been through the delegate system. And many Nigerians don't really understand how presidential candidates are actually selected. They don't really understand it.
Yeah.
We were mentioning the delegate, we were mentioning money and all of that. Explain to like a 20-year-old how the delegate system works and how Nigeria's presidents are actually selected.
Delegate system is what we call indirect primaries. Like this new electoral law says you can become a candidate by consensus or direct primaries. Direct primary is where everybody in the party comes to vote at each level, like at ward level, if you are, like as they did, if you are running for president, all the wards in Aruchku, all the local government will vote. They come to local government, vote for you and any other person. They come to the tally up for the state. In the 36 states of
Anybody
Nigeria,
can go and vote.
Who is a member of the party?
Yes, okay.
Party members.
In the local government.
Well, it's not like general election, but it's only like party members.
Party members alone.
That's very expensive if it's to be properly organized. These things they did the last time were just razzmatazz. If they do it properly, it's an expensive thing. I mean, it's just a miniature running a national election or if it's presidential. So the other thing is what they call delegates, in which case each local government, for example, you said, okay, the local government will produce 10 delegates who are going to be delegates at the presidential election. So the local government...
So choose anybody they like.
They are supposed to be elected the same way this, but local government is smaller, but usually they end up being chosen. They're supposed to be elected.
And that's the party members.
So you have actually not all. There is those that are selected. There are those they also call elected delegates. There are those they call statutory delegates. Statutory delegates are like former governors, chairman of a party, party leadership. Those are statutory delegates. So it is the statutory and non-statutory. The statutory delegates are those that, by virtue of the position they hold, senators in the party are delegates. Members of the House are delegates. Then each local government will produce 10 and so forth and so on. So instead of having, let us say, a party, what is the population of APC? Say they have how many million? Do you remember how many million? And they voted for the president.
8 million.
No. During the primary.
Oh.
It was more than 10 million. So 10 million voting. Then maybe you can have 2,000 or 3,000. Like I said, during our time, it was about 3,000 or 4,000 people. But because of the omission of the statutory delegates in the law, it was only what they call the elected delegates, which was one per local government according to the electoral law. So the delegate system is a system where people are representing the greater number of people. So instead of having 10 million APC people voting for the president to become a candidate, it may be 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, which have been selected by representing groups.
Okay.
Either by election, you say, okay, for each local government, let's elect. For each ward, let's elect, depending on how it is agreed. So representative basis. So they are the people who now come to the convention or to the Congress, to the presidential convention to now elect the president state by state. They'll come and cast their votes. They are delegates. They are the people who collect money. This is a season. You know, like during that our season, if there were 10 presidential candidates, they'll collect somebody's $5,000. Another person came and give 50. Another person came and give 18. Those of us get $500 equivalent. Everybody will collect.
Do you think that delegate system is important?
Eh?
Do you think the delegate system is important? Can it be scrapped?
You need, for me, to be sincere to you, I think it doesn't make sense. It's honestly a waste of money. It's just that there is nothing you do in this country that politicians will not have a way to solve that. Otherwise, the best method is the consensus. Yes. Yeah. Because it prevents you from wasting your time. Are you getting it? I want to be president. You want to be president. 5 of us in the party will come. Then the party leadership will decide that, okay, it's you that should go.
That is where the problem is now, because some people may be aggrieved that why it's not me. Why?
Yeah, if you are aggrieved, then you go and do primary. Everybody go, you go and do a direct election.
Okay.
The agreement is this, that 4 of us will sign that we have agreed that it is him. And do you know where it works? Because it suits my philosophy. Governance is not done by one man. If 4 of us were the people who want to be president, and a consensus was made, one person was chosen, I believe that what you tell the other, that person that was chosen will tell the other 3, like I told Peter and Anyim, who were running, that were members of the Southeast team. We already have a team. Peter, if they choose you as the presidential candidate for PDP, myself, Pius, and Nakwanze are already members of your team. Pius, if they choose you, we others are members of. If they chose me, you're already members. In which case, there should be no schism. Because only one person can be president. We're looking for a team captain. So if at that consensus, they say, see, we have chosen you, Ndubisi, you are going to be presidential candidate. Mazi Sam, if will be your vice. This guy will probably make him chief of staff. The other person will be Minister of Finance. This lady will be party women leader or something. So 5 of us are recruited into your team. So we'll begin to support you immediately. No fighting, no killing ourselves, no wasting our money. Even though what I've said, some people may not yet agree because some are over reading with their ambition. In which case, if they're then let's go and do primaries. If we do true primaries, you know that it's more expensive than anything. True primary is more expensive. You know why? In the primary, even though I'm saying somebody's going to take $10,000, but if you divide $10,000 by if suppose you now go and give $1,000 to how many people get that money? $10,000. You use it to pay for how many people? Is it only 10 people? Huh? If you make $100, how many people you pay for? 100. So, and then 5 or 10 million will vote for you. So even if you get like that small $100 or whatever, you will be spending more money because nobody is going to queue for you in the primaries for nothing. Even though the money won't be that large. But you might find that you spend more. Are you understanding my point? So if we now say, okay, let's go for primary, you are the one who is refusing. If you have the money to make sure you're able to service and pay all the bills, it's an expensive thing if they do it properly. So the most reasonable one is consensus. And people should be willing to share power. You don't have to be president if you're thinking of the good of the people. What you need to is to have an opportunity to make a contribution. Are you getting it? Because all those who step down for the other people, they're immediately giving a privileged position. You already, if you can't be president, you'll be vice. I mean, look at ADC. After Mr. Mechi lost, he's now the vice presidential candidate. Are you seeing it? The other persons, well, if the other people like Mr. Hayatuddin, he already has a position. He may not be announced. So that's why consensus is the best. It reduces cost. It takes away acrimony. It removes division. People are not going to leave the party and go and run into another party. But when Nigeria doesn't know how to do anything, they now impose people. Instead of negotiation, they now impose you. And they don't care what we say. That's why it is wrong. That's why there's bad.
Now, you made that decision in 2018 or 2019 to run for the primary, right?
Yeah.
2018 or 2019. So if you made that decision in 2018 or 2019, let's assume now with the knowledge you have, experience you have, let's say you have this knowledge and experience today that you have with you, and then we turn back the hands of time to 2018, 2019. Will you jump into the race?
I'll still, if I have the same motivation. I told you I was not the same guy. If I'm inflated or possessed by the spirit that possessed me, I cannot do anything else without a good. Otherwise, you see, if I did not do that, you can't see me sitting with you here now. You know why? I'll be so miserable. I'll say Nigeria is suffering. If I had shown up, maybe God would have given me the opportunity. I refused. I was afraid. I demeaned God. I didn't believe God could do anything. That's why I was discounting myself. Maybe God would have used me to save this country. But I haven't shown up.
We have not been at peace.
So I'm at peace. God, I have done what you asked me to do. Maybe the other reasons you didn't do it, or you have other things for me. I am peaceful with, as a Nigerian, maybe. Chineke will not join me in the judgment because he sees what I've done. I have a desire to change the country, not desire in my bedroom, not desire in my office. I've taken risk of running to kidnappers on the way in Zamfara, flying left and right to go and convince Nigerians or PDP to choose me. I have discharged myself. I can't find a better position. I'm ready to pay anything to be in this state of mind.
Now, if you can recount one of.
But now with my clear eyes,
yes,
you see, like I said, that was if I'm possessed. But with the clear eyes I have now,
yes, you will not try it.
No, I can't, because I already decided. As I wrote this book, look at what if you want to win an election in Nigeria. This is the system. That is, like you said, letting God do what He wants to do. But let us, as human beings,
with our clear eyes,
with our clear eyes. But that time I was not mine.
With your clear eyes.
No, I was not here. I was possessed.
No word entirely. Yeah. If you can recount your experience during that primary race, what can you say some of the most disappointing experience or very sad experience?
Oh, the saddest experience for me was the day I called. You know, when I was now, because you know, I told you I went around the country almost 3 times. First time to establish the new Nigeria group in the 36 states. That time we were non-partisan. Then the second time when I now declared for PDP, I went around the states again to introduce myself to PDP leadership and leader member. Because I was not a known, if I was a known politician, I probably wouldn't do that. People used to hear my name, Nimet, Pfizer, Economic Summit, blah, blah, blah. They never had me as chance councillor, not talk of chairman. So I needed to go to the PDP people in each state and address them and tell them why I think I want to present. So it's not like, who is this Mazi Sam? Where is he coming from? What does he think? Who is himself? You know, people don't know you before. So I went round. Then the third time was now to fish for delegates. Are you getting me? So yes. I now had the delegate list, and I was now going to, you know, market myself to those delegates. Are you getting the point? So after the delegates, after going around the country, I started going to constituencies. So my worst day was the day I went to National Assembly. So I called up somebody, National Assembly, that I want to come and meet with National Assembly. We say, very well, very good. So I said, can we hold the meeting in your place? He said, no, his place will not be able to take. So I should go and book a hotel. I say, which type of hotel? He gave me either Sheraton or Transcorp Hilton, that class. Not that hotel where I used to stay. Immaculate Seats, not that class. So I went and booked to Then I said, in all these places I'm going, what I was doing that time was at each of these places, when I was going to the delegates, if I address them, I'll draw 50,000 naira for them, which is just take for transport before the real money for delegates. So I said, but I can't give 50,000 to senators and members of the House. It is too belittling. Even 100,000. Can't imagine a senator who earns so much money. You give 100,000. You know, I can imagine these political people. You know, most of these people in party politics, that's what they live with. They have no appointment. If they see 50,000, it's money. So I thought that would. So I went and prepared a gift pack. Branded it, put mugs, put pens, put desk pad, you know, all beautiful. Each packet, I think I spent about 450,000 naira per pack. Because I say this is the top elite.
So the top
came to the event, then put the pack, the table. I laid out the gifts
on the table.
So we started. One senior party member was on my left from the Senate. The one in the House was by my right. And time came for me to speak. I spoke. After making my presence, everybody started hailing me. You know, this House of Rep will come that he has known me while we're in university together. I have been the one fighting case in Aba.
They were
hailing me, praising
you, yes.
So as the event was going, so one of the man on the Senate on my left said, Mazi Ohuabunwa. I said, yes.
Which means, do you have something?
I do have something. I said, yes. I said, see that they're all laid out there. So he now talked to the one on the right. The one on the right talked to somebody. So a member of the House of Rep now came who was close to Unume, and then went and started taking
the packs
and
I'm giving each of them.
Yeah. You know, the moment each person collects his pack, he'll start rumbling inside it. I was looking. Then so we'll turn it upside down because it's a fairly big pack. Turn it down upside and like you are searching for something. They were doing it here. Anybody that got his pack really went
inside.
And before you knew it, one by one, they began to leave.
They started leaving the hall.
They started leaving the hall. Some even left the park. So I started asking, what is happening? What's happening? So the senator said, won't hear any more. There's nothing inside it. I said, there's a lot inside there. Then I said, what do you mean? Are you talking about money? He said, yes, there's no money. I said, what kind of money will I put in there now? I didn't know it is a matter of, if it's money, no problem now. We can organize money because the whole was becoming it.
Everybody's going out.
You know, I said, if it's money. Well, somebody that came, Mazi, how much?
Wow.
I said, nothing less than 5 million. He went. Another one came say, when will it be available? When are you going to release it? I say, next week, before the end, this was by next week. Immediately, people started returning back to the hall. People I even thought had gone. I didn't know they were circulating the lobby, complaining. Why would this man bring them here? And he's giving them all this kind of nonsense. So they started coming back. When the meeting closed, from that time to the meeting closed, I was so depressed.
Wow.
I was the last person to leave the hall. One of my first friends saw my mood. He was not a politician, one of my, then we went to. I went to my hotel and I said, maybe I should stop this race. Well, one of those days I wanted to think I should stop. If the rot in Nigeria is up to this level, that the elite, the political elite of my country can walk away because
There's
I
no
didn't
money.
put cash.
Cash money.
People receive cash every day in either as allowance or oversight or whatever they do. Can walk away. How much will I put there? Somebody said, you shouldn't have even made all those parts. Even this food, you should have monetized all of them. I said, no, I don't think this solution, this situation is not redeemable. Nigeria is not, I don't think I can solve the problem. Because who am I going to solve this problem with? It's not a one-man thing now. You need the National Assembly. You need all those institutions to work. But if the institutions
are not working,
the critical institution for democracy is like this, then where are we going?
Yes. Wow.
In fact, as I got to my hotel, my youngest brother called me. He wasn't there because he called my brothers were playing, let it not be somewhere. But they were supporting me, but they didn't want to be seen too much with me. So this one called me. He said, how did it go? I said, see my wahala. I think I'm done with this case. He said, calm down, Dede. You have made a difference. You are my hero. He came from his house, a bottle of champagne. I said, drink champagne, Dede. You've made me proud. Do you know today, your name will be ringing in all the halls of National Assembly. They'll be talking about you. For good or for bad.
For bad.
Somebody who has done differently from the other people. So don't be worried about it at all. You want to change Nigeria, this is where to start. You don't want to play it like the other people. That resuscitated faith for me to continue. But that was my worst day.
Wow.
It was worse than the day I ran into kidnappers on Zamfara Road. But that was a dangerous day, not a day of disappointment. I knew that was kidnappers and lane, so I took my risk.
Apart from that particular day, what day did you say you looked back during the race and you lost faith in the process?
Well, the day of this money, I told the 10 million that they disappointed was another sad day. But God brought back again. You know how God works. When I was about to say, well, this is the end of the road. Because if I didn't bring the 10 million, I can't buy the form. And if you don't buy the form, there's a closing date. It's not just one like one of our PDP leaders who came to buy form on the day they're submitting forms. So you have to buy it on the day. So that was a low day, but it was a day that's also reinforced my faith that God's hand is in this. Because there is no other way. My brothers have contributed money. So those, as much as they could, it's not today that Naira is everywhere. In 2021, 2022, but Naira was not available the same way. So, first of all, Mr. Buhari tried to stifle the economy as much as he could. So that was a low day. This day after was the lowest for me. What other low day? Well, the low day was the way it was a low day for me was that primary day.
Yes, I wanted to mention the primary.
It was a low day.
Inside this book here, you chronicled your experience with many of the delegates, how you grabbed them, how some of them came into the hotel room to come and meet you and all of that.
Yeah.
At that point in time, when you're saying that,
it was when I now said,
I want you to give some of that story.
Yeah, when I now say Jesus. So if this thing can be this bad, I knew the disappointments. I knew everything. So I wasn't hoping with even all my miracle. I wasn't hoping that numerically I'll get the highest delegates. It didn't make sense to me. But I said, God knows what he wants to do. Because, assuming there's a tie somewhere, and it's okay, who matters are concerned. God can, anything happen. The parents will be there. So I chose, after all the thoughts, I decided with the little money I have to invest it where I think will get me the best return. So I chose places. And I gave the story in this book of my experience with some Imo delegates.
Yes.
Who came to my hotel. 11 or 12 of them. And they called me, I didn't call them. Because I wasn't sure they would represent I had done my arithmetic as to know where they called me. 2 or 3 days, 2 days. And they came. And they began to whine me, as they say now. How they've known me. Each person gave his experience with me. That two weeks before now, their minds were divided. Who should they support? Should it be me or Peter Obi? Because they believe it is son of the Southeast. But thereafter, Peter has left. So they are no longer in any confusion as to who to
support again. You are the only one.
Me only. So they want to encourage me that they have not come because of money. They volunteered that word. It's not about money. And I believe them because they ought to know that I don't have the money. But as my tradition, after that, I offered them the 250K each. I asked their leader to send me an account number, and I sent 2.75 million.
To each of them?
No, to the
total group.
To other 11 or what number? 2.75 million. If you divide that by 250, you see her number. So, and I said, this will work, or at least half of them.
And you've already convinced your own people.
I say at least half of them will come. So the one on Bayelsa people, Bayelsa has only 8 delegates because there were one from each. I have 8 local government. I met them in Bayelsa, and they promised me. The day they told me, they said, you know what are supporting me? That they believe is the son of the Southeast. And that when Jonathan was run in the South, he supported Jonathan. They were saying this, not me, to make themselves credible. So I shared a little note I brought and left. That was a 1 week or two to the primary. When we met in the primary, we sent a message. So after the people had voted by ESA, I have agents, coordinator for each state. So my coordinator was following up with them to know whether they kept their deal. They now send my coordinator a note. What's that guy's name? Is he Manuel or what you say? Solomon. He said, Solomon, this is to confirm that we have fulfilled our obligation to your principle. Let your hearts be at peace.
Be at peace. And how many were they?
8. So I said, okay, maybe 4.
Okay.
I was being realistic.
Yeah,
it's not as if I say maybe 4, half, because I know that everybody's under one influence or the other. That solidarity, Southeast, you support Jonathan may not work for everybody.
Yes.
I said 4. So I was tallying my numbers until they started to call. So there was a group from Zamfara. They came late. The hotel they booked for them had been taken over. I provided accommodation for them. Because the man who was leading it was pretended to be pro me. So I paid the accommodation. And so many of such. Kaduna, Nasarawa, I was choosing little number. I was saying at least, if there were 774, if I get 200, 100 behind, I will have tried. It's a good showing. Let God do the rest. Until they started to call.
What about your own people, Abia?
Hey, let me come to Abia. Thank you for reminding me. That is what brought me low. I was so very low. I met Abia people that morning. I came to the hotel. Because of too many activities, I couldn't go to them early. I called to come the previous evening. But somebody who was to link me up, I don't know what trick they was playing because they knew what was their issue. So I came on Saturday morning. I met them. They also started entering the bus to take them to the velodrome. So as I entered, the chairman of the party followed me. They were seated. So I began to make my appeal. When I finished, the chairman of the party opened up. Unfortunately, he wasn't a delegate, because I told you that those statutory delegates were missed out by the law. Mm-hmm. He said, Mazi is our person. He's our own man. He has come to the office. He has done to us all the ceremonies he's supposed to do. We must support our own. Very passionate appeal. I believed him. Why I believed him? Well, he was not a candidate. He was not a voting. If he was a voting and the story came out the way it is, I would have now said he was deceitful. But I believed him. Do you know one elder? I sat with the elder recently in Abia when we went to do the 3rd year anniversary of our governor in office, Governor Lex Oti. I sat with him and we were chatting. I was looking at him. I was wondering whether he still remembered. He remembered what he did. He now said, Mazi Sam, see, our worry is, have you been going to the other states to talk to delegates? I said, that's exactly why you didn't see me before now. I was focused on those ones. He said, well, that's what is bothering them. But enough for them. I should take their own as given. As a given. That it's those people that if I'm going to see them and I have done them what I should do, then I should not have a problem. So I calculated there were 17 delegates. I thought, at least, since it's my state, maybe they'll give me 10 or half. Until results began to come. Atiku, Wike, Atiku, Saraki, Tambuwa, Wike, Atiku. That's his name. It kept going on. No. All of a sudden, I looked behind Dele Momodu, who was one of us. I said, Dele, are you sure our names on this ballot paper? I said, I didn't ask to see what names were on the. Dele say also didn't look. I said, hey, this will read us out from beginning. Because if your name is not on the ballot paper, how can they call it? They can't call you. There's no way anybody will vote for you. Because they only vote for people. They could have removed my name or our names. That's right. I say, which type of foolishness is this?
That's what you're thinking already.
That's what I was thinking. That I couldn't believe that up to that point, my name
has not been mentioned.
It was when I never had Sam Ohuabunwa. Then they moved on. I said, that showed that my name is on that plate. Okay, let me wait for more. Somebody now said he had a second one. Another say he had a third one, but to be sincere, I only had one.
One vote.
One I had. Somebody said he had a second one. Another say he had a third one. And they were not pronouncing his name well. Whether it's 3 or 5, what will it make a difference? So that was, even though, like I said, I wasn't angry. I wasn't angry at all. I wasn't disappointed by the overall result. But I was disappointed that people can go this low. You didn't have to, like those emo points, you didn't have to come to me after collecting large sums of money. Only that my miserable 250K come and collect it again. What's the meaning?
Honestly.
And then make bogus promises. My state's people. The only vote, that single vote I had, I think somebody from my state. I understand his conscience couldn't let him, also from my local government.
You are sure he's one that voted?
Well, that's actually when he finished, 6 people were claiming it though. That one vote or 2 votes. 6 people called me
and claimed that one
that they voted, but there's no way I could prove who voted. 6 and swore that it was them, each person.
If you had 0, say that would be better, so that you hold them on the shirt.
I just imagine that the guy who voted for me is a guy from my local government because he's very close to us. He's my brother's friend, Mao's good friend. He's a Christian, he's a knight. And
can't be so sure.
No, how can I be sure? I'm not swearing.
Yes.
But that's where my mind seemed to settle. I may be wrong. Maybe one of the other people were claiming. But for each person, I thank them.
At least you got one. Daily didn't get any.
They didn't get anyone. Many of them didn't get now. Among the candidates, as my brother called us, presidential candidate without structure, I was one of the few who got votes. It was only me and one lady. The others didn't get votes.
It was just Wike, Atiku, Wike,
Wike, Saraki, Tambuwa, Wike, Atiku, Wike. Not all of us will come this business. My brother.
Firstly, why did you say you want to go into Nigeria's presidential position? Is it that you don't know that place is shark-infested river? That place, they call it shark-infested river. What drove you?
No, the truth is that I have always had a call for leadership. And I've exhibited that call in different facets of my life, from school to business to career to community service to public service, advocacy. And something keeps tugging in my spirit that this country could do better than it's been doing. You know, that push led me to write one book. I don't think you focused on that yet, called Nigeria, Need for the Evolution of a New Nation. That book, I published it in 2010, which were where I painted my manifesto on how to move Nigeria from a third world to first world, to move Nigeria from a disjointed, disunited country to a country united by values, ambition, and vision, a country that can work for everybody. I wrote it and did my best to circulate to the political class because I didn't think I could stand in that water-infested or shark-infested
water.
If I might even go back a little bit, when I was growing in my career, in my Pfizer days in the pharmaceutical industry, I had tremendous pressure from my community and from my state to go into politics because of this desire and this willingness to serve. You know, politics is about service. It's about promoting the well-being of people. So people saw from my community. When I became Assistant Secretary General of our Towns Union, I became Secretary General 6 years. I became President General. 18 years I was serving the community. So the community saw in me a man who could work for the good of the people, because all this work was done pro bono, and rather I spent my time and energy. So there was push, but I could not reconcile giving up my career at the time. So much so that in 1997, 98, when my younger brother, Senator Mao, came to say he wanted to go into politics, I was enthusiastic, more or less. I encouraged him because I saw that as an opportunity to take away that pressure on me, both an internal pressure by myself and the one that the community and the environment was bringing on me. So I did that, and he went and he discharged himself. He's still doing as much as he can, but in the legislative side of business. But every year the country got worse. Every year it looks like it's going to get better, then it gets worse. And more so when Buhari came to power. He brought this country down, economically down, politically down, socially down, and divided a nation. A nation was that was not necessarily too much at peace with itself, now going to war with itself. Banditry increased, criminality increased, poverty increased. I say this country can do better. And especially if you are like me, who travels a lot, who is in the public domain, who relates with other nationals. Because from 1986, the question has been ringing me, why is your country the way it is? Why is your country? It's been happening according to my ears. So as all this was going on, I then began to receive visible calls, visible invitation, visible motivation. At first, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was just my mind working on me. I thought it was just fancy. It will come and pass. But my brother, as you read in this book, when you had more than 50 different occasions within a short span of 1 year of people that driving you into politics, driving into presidential, driving into leadership in Nigerian system, you stop believing yourself. You start thinking that somebody else is pushing you.
The problem is that why don't you think that all those things that is happening in Nigeria, people know them. People know that the country is deteriorating every day.
Yeah.
Why do you think you, with no any political position before,
Yeah.
you have not been a governor,
Yeah.
you have not been a senator,
Yeah.
you already excelled
Yeah.
in the business space.
Yeah.
What you have is your business money.
Yeah.
Why do you think you can come and battle with people in Nigerian politics that already have the funds to run with?
I'm a Christian, and I believe that God lives in heaven and rules the earth. And I believe there's something called miracle. And when they are more so, because the revelation that was coming to me, most of them were inspired by God.
Now, didn't you see that the revelation was false?
It's not false.
It's not fake.
No, the
Okay.
Bible.
Let me take it.
Fake. See, if 1-2 people tell you something, 3-4 people, especially who are in your locality, you can think they are plotting you or trying to pull you. But when you begin to hear voices in Dubai,
It could be coincidence.
in one coincidence, 2 coincidence, in this book, I gave more than 40.
I read all the
40.
places you talked about
40.
in this particular book.
Yes.
You gave different scenarios
Yes.
in Dubai,
Yes.
in I think
America.
London, in America,
Yes.
in different
Nigeria,
places
in my home,
you mentioned.
and first starting with me,
Starting with you, yes,
it's me
at
first
home,
that I
then your wife
in
confirmed
Sokoto,
it.
in Sokoto State.
Yes.
That's where I received the first revelation. Then the next week, it began to rotate till my wife came to know, till many other people. It was overwhelming. There's no way I could have, there's always fake. Let me tell you, it is not fake. But you know, God's time is different. God's way. There may be a reason God asked me, and I have even know some of the reasons God asked me even to go. Now I know some of the reasons. Because what I wrote here, I wouldn't have written if I didn't go to politics, if I didn't enter there. This book, as you are revealing, many people are already making reference to the book. It is beginning to raise those issues more and more from an insider point of view. You know, most of us describe politics from outside. We do not look at issues from the political eyes of like the politician. So we are bystanders, journalists, observers, critics, social. It's a different story than when you go into there and see what is actually happening. Then you can be in a position to reveal it. And when you reveal it, you are more authentic. Because they'll say, this man, what does he know? Or you are speaking because you don't like this person, you hate this person. I'm speaking as a participant. So today, people in Nigeria still make reference to that experiment. And for me, that's just one part. The full realization of God's revelation will happen. It is absolutely when it comes to happen, you link it.
I read a lot about the law of attraction.
Yeah.
And one of the laws of attraction says that once your mind is invested into something,
Yeah.
things around you and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
will try to make that thing look real in your own eyes.
Yeah.
I see that probably your mind is invested in the fact that, okay, you want to run for this position. And everything in your eyes, you started noticing it. Like someone will give a popular example. They say, if you're looking for, let's say you want to buy a red Mercedes Benz. Before, if you go out, you will not notice red Mercedes Benz when they are going out.
Yeah.
But immediately you said you start thinking of red Benz. If you go outside, you start noticing when Mercedes Benz, you will see Mercedes Benz red everywhere. You'll not be wondering, where, how? It's because your mind
Is it
and your
me that
vision has
is
to
it the red
read.
Mercedes Benz that I'm seeing that made my wife see me at the Ego Square being inaugurated as president? Is it the redness of my eye? Is it that made her see it and then began to yell, why is my husband here? This should not be my husband. It's in the book. There are too many to bring to this philosophy. Just believe that God has a way of communicating his wish and will to people. That's why I put here Revelation
Driven by revelation and inspiration.
Some are inspiration. Some are
revelation.
Clear revelation. You meet somebody who says you are congratulating you for becoming a president of a society, and tells you the next time you see you become president of Nigeria, you ask him why. He brings his card to show that he's a reverend father, reverend pharmacist. That is revelation. And he says by the next time he sees me, I've been trying to see the man. I've not seen him up till now. So as to diffuse it, because that I told you, see me next year. Next year, COVID came. We didn't see. The next year, we didn't see. I've not seen him. He's from Ghana here. I've gone to Ghana searching for him. I can't see him. So I'm not saying I'm not the president. No. The issue is that when God reveals, because we are men, the totality of his message may not be fully understood.
Did God reveal that you're going to win?
No, God told me go. He didn't say I will win. You see, the law of obedience is what God counts on. When God asked Abraham, go and sacrifice your son, Abraham went to sacrifice the son. But did he sacrifice the son? He didn't. God saw the obedience. And I can tell you for free that since I obeyed God, my life has changed.
Okay,
God has done so much for me that I could never have believed was possible in the last 3 short years. And I trace it to the fact that I believed him. I didn't trust in my power. You see, if I went to the politics believing I have what it takes, you would think I'm a foolish man. But I was trusting the power of God. Do you think that power of God is something you can belittle?
You know why I'm saying all of this is that many people should believe in God. You know, this is one of the things that I'm a Christian as well, and one of the hallmark of our faith is action. You took action.
Yes.
And God doesn't lie. Once he gives you an assignment, he sees it to the end. He said, have I revealed it?
Yes.
And would I not make it come to pass?
Yes.
If someone hears you saying you're driven by God, God sent you into a race and everything, at the end of the day, there's no result to show for it, would you say God lied? No.
The point is that your timing, the Bible says 1,000 years is like an evening gone in the eyes of the Lord. You're framing God as man. When he says it must happen the day it happens. He says 1,000 years in you is like an evening gone. God's timing is different. He reveals it to you. He does not tell you exactly when it will happen and how it will happen. What he wants is obey. If you have that foolish obedience, obey him. It is me that took the loss. But I can tell you that there's no loss. In fact, it is profit. Okay. So that is the way you know. The way you know whether God is in a thing is when you obey. What is the result? If I finished that and I became poorer than I was, I became less important than I was, I became less recognized than I was, I became less significant than I was, then you know I was on a good trip. But today, God has done so much for me, which is not the subject of this interview. And I will tell you that I am convinced that I am happy that I would have been a miserable man with all this your philosophy if I held myself back because I felt, look, this can be fantasy. This is not achievable. Me and my wife spoke. The night she told me, I said, see, I have 2 issues. That since I started getting this, there are 3 things I'm talking about. One is that I'm not a politician. Nobody knows me. People might know me, even know me as a man of God, but not a politician. Number 2, I am old at 70. I'll be 70 next year. Is it when I will go to politics that when people are retiring? Thirdly, I have no money. On a Saturday evening, we'll go to church the next day. You are sitting in the pew, and the pastor begins to speak about, let's pray for Nigeria. And everybody's praying for Nigeria. In fact, on Thursday of the week, before the Saturday, somebody said, Mazi Sam, why don't you put together a few guys like you and come and redeem Nigeria? I say, redeem Nigeria. Who can redeem himself? Not talk of redeeming Nigeria. I said, no man can redeem himself. He said, who can redeem? I said, only God. God can redeem a man, and then God can redeem Nigeria. The old man said, but he will need men. He will need men. When he said it, I was diffused. My argument was, I said, okay, let us pray that God will produce those men. Then on Sunday, this was Thursday, Saturday, I had this encounter with my wife. On Sunday, we'll go to court, the church, the pastor who I couldn't have seen anywhere, known anywhere, was ministering. And after we finished praying, he said, let's pray for Nigeria. Everyone was praying for Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. He said, the elections are coming. This, that. Then he closed. He said, God will send a deliverer to Nigeria. 2, he is not a politician. Nobody knows him. 3, he does not matter his age.
All these things you're saying now, they are written in this book.
They're in the book.
I read them.
So
now,
you cannot.
Yes.
You cannot bring your theory.
No, I understand.
To try and tell me, I am sufficiently. You see, if I wanted to go to politics out of zeal, out of personal desire, I would have long gone to politics. I had the opportunity, privileges. I served many governments. Chief, what's his name? The late governor of Abia State invited me to join politics. God delivered me because he wanted to be a commissioner. But God, after an interview where I was the best of all the candidates, I was in the interview panel, I was interviewing people to be commissioners. After I interviewed me, there were 2 people who were in the interview panel, the governor and the deputy governor. They gave me a seat. I became the 3rd. So people who I was sitting with in the hall, in the waiting room, who started coming and seeing me as part of the interview panel, were surprised. Was I inside there pretending I was a guest? Was I listening to them? There was nothing they were not thinking. I was declared the first person they've selected. The interview was on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, they called the vice deputy governor, called my sponsor, the person who nominated me to the governor, and say, this your guy is too much. Our issue now is which ministry are we going to give him. What we thought we should give him should be health. But health would be too small for him. So we're thinking of giving him maybe information and strategy where he can sell the state. Wednesday. On Thursday morning, on Friday morning, the list was released. My name was not there. So, and 3 months after that, I was promoted. I was farm deal director. I became deputy managing director in 1992. The next year, I became managing director. If I had stepped for 1 week from that job, my Pfizer story would be different. God works in way man. You cannot interpret God. This is what you're trying to do, and is to reduce God to something interpretable by human mind. What mind do you have? Who has a mind to interpret God? The Bible says, who knows? Were you there when the foundations of the earth were built? We're not there. So God is not man. He cannot lie. I ended the book that way. He didn't say, I will win. He said, go, time has come for you to go into election. There are opportunities for you to. That thing that have been born into your heart. So understand the point, but this is beyond it. It's beyond those sentiments and those fantasies. They are this book. That's why I committed it, because people like you were asking me a question. Mazi, why did you do this? I wrote this book to say that I didn't do it with frivolity. And the kind of things I accomplished in those months. When now, I'm wondering, is it me? I was a different person. I mean, you came close to me that season.
Yes.
I was a different guy.
Complete
Different guy. Something possessed me. It's not normal, my brother.
You were not listening to anybody.
No, I was a different person. Completely sold to the vision and mission. And that's how things are accomplished in the world. So whether it has happened now, all I know is that one day you have this book, you are younger than myself. It may not be me, but God, you link, one day you will think. Let me give you an example. The new Nigeria group concept I started. Do you know it's the same thing Peter Obi is running? Are you not here about new Nigeria group? The day Peter met me in Abuja, in Benin, and I was being introduced as the convener of New Nigeria Group in 2021 or 2022. Before, at that time, Peter had not declared he was going to run. We're all in PDP. I was the first to begin. I hadn't even said I was going to run in PDP. I declared for PDP, but I hadn't shown myself. And what took me to Benin was a different matter, but I ended up where Peter was, and we were campaigning for Obaseki's second term. Immediately announced, Peter said, Mazi, are you the convener for New Nigeria Group? I said this. That's very interesting. And then I gave him my documents. And two of us have similar view on Nigeria. That was why when my own mission didn't go through, I had a positive disposition to him. I kept finding ways to continue to encourage him because it is the same New Nigeria vision. God gives visions to 2-3 people. He doesn't give it to only one man. Some people will not run. Some will not do something about themselves. Even the business you're doing now, the things God speaks to you. Where you are today, you think is by your power or by your strength. Inspiration that you do not see have brought you here. All the people you started with are not here. And it's not just because you are working any harder than them. Maybe some obedience, some things you do that is in line with what God desires for your life. Because we're talking about purpose-driven life. A purpose-driven life must be directed to certain things.
Let me come into our main topic of...
Now that I have diffused your philosophy.
Let me leave that for that. Let me come into our main topic. Now, do you think Nigeria has leadership problem or followers problem?
Both. In that my book that I speak about the Nigeria need for the evolution of a new nation that was published in 2010, a chapter is captioned "The Followership That Deserve the Leadership." And that story, I say that Nigerians are happy to be wimps. They're happy to be pimps. They're happy to be small devils. They're happy to be small demons. But they are looking forward for a saint to be their leader. The question is, since our leader emerges from amongst us who are demons and wimps, or how would he happen? There was a responsibility for followers which were not meeting. That the average Nigerian is corrupt, and yet we want a corrupt-free leader. How will he come? That's my case. That every nation has leadership in demand. That we need to demand the type of leaders we want. Then they will emerge. But expecting those leaders to emerge and change us may be much more difficult. That's my argument. But if you let me know where we are now, what do we want? We want a leader. Because bottom up is going to take for years, forever to happen. By the time you move 100, 200 million to begin to think correctly, how long will it take us? But if you have one leader who has a good sense and ready to recruit 12 disciples as Jesus Christ did and indoctrinate them and sell himself to them and they buy their vision and truly live by that vision, they can begin to change us because they have the power. They have the power of influence, that they can influence us, the power of motivation, the carrot and the stick. They can even coerce us to change by a fearless, blatant, or brutal implementation of the laws. The day you do traffic law, you are put in prison or you are fined, money collected from you or your car pounded, like they do in America. You run the red, it enters into your record. You go to court, they seize your license, you run. After a while, you can't get license, your insurance grows. Easy. You want to commit crime, commit it, but you pay.
Now, I want us to talk the solutions now. Let's just come down to a little bit some of the solutions. If Nigeria must begin to produce leaders based on merit, what do you think must change?
You see, for me, there are two sides to it. First is a revolution. I do not see how it can come from blow. All these things we do, train people, indoctrinate them, do empowerment. As if you say they are teaching people, they are speaking to women, they are speaking to boys, they are speaking to girls, enlightening them. Those things are a waste of time. They will yield no benefit. Yeah, therefore, thank God. Every single Nigerian child, his mind is twisted by what he's seeing. Leave the smaller ones who are not like that, who have come from privileged backgrounds. It's a small percentage, But the average Nigerian child's mind is twisted. Not talk of the young people who have no work to do, who finish school. They have no work. They have nothing. They become burden to their parents. They become what's enlightenment? Who say they don't know the difference between Yahoo and living straight? And a Jonyama got cherubim. Nobody goes to cherubim with clear eyes. There's something that is pursuing you for you to go to cherubim. So my own proposition is that the only thing that can save our country are three things. First, which I think is preferred, is to have a born-again leadership. When I say born-again, I'm not talking about Christian born-again as such. A leadership that determines that we're going to do good for our country, not for ourselves. The greatest unhappiness I have with the current government is their inability to manage the waste of our resources, both from their own lifestyle to the lifestyle of all of that who are in the political class. Our money is not being spent in the most efficient manner. That's my unhappiness. I'm happy with the reforms because I preach those reforms, but we can't be bringing more revenue and then the basket is leaking. How long will it take to fill the basket?
The question is, how do we produce leaders based on merits?
Wait. Let's just listen. I've told you the three things. First is to have a leader. And I'm telling you that leader may not necessarily be a saint.
Okay.
He may not get to an office in Nigeria by playing saintly roles. He may not. But let him tell himself, I want to get to this office. And since the only way I can get to the office is to give you money. We're going to look for the money and give you. But the moment I cross the road, I'll now say, okay, nobody else will cross the road the same way I've come. It has happened. It's in history. So if we have that kind of leader, because you one of the things you started from this interview is talking about realism. I'm speaking realism now. Realism is that just hoping that a good leader will emerge. How? Except he does those three things I've told you. And so he can be somebody who think he's not a good person by our own judgment. After all, Saul was a persecutor of Christianity. He was. So from the Christian perspective, he was a bad man. Was a persecutor, was a useless man, but he turned and changed and became the greatest apostle. St. Paul, for me, is the greatest apostle. He's done more than anybody to promote the gospel by his writings. So it's possible for somebody who doesn't look good in our eyes, but who knows where he's going or who God touches his heart to change our country. Nigeria just needs self-sacrificing leaders, self-sacrificing. People who want nothing for themselves, who are willing to come to office and live like ordinary Nigeria, who come and become president and say, see, I'm going to give car loan, I'm going to take a car loan. Every person, National Assembly, State Assembly, take car loan, buy your own car, depreciate it, we'll give you allowance. I'm not buying car for anybody. I'm not renting any house. Go and rent. People are renting. The ordinary Nigerians are renting money. We'll pay you salary. We'll pay you house and allowance. Go and rent your own car. A president who cannot feel, today we have 36 or 38 or 40 ministers. I'll need 18. It's in that book. We don't need, if police fails, we'll create civil defense fails, we create Amoteku failed, we create rivers, boat people failed, we create forest people. How can you are duplicating? You create a new agency. That agency will have chairman, will have secretary, will have members of the board. What is this? The money you are taxing people from, the money you are saving from oil subsidy, the money we are saving from foreign exchange equilibrium, we are now spending it on paying bills that are avoidable. That is where I hold this government liable. I've written it. I'm sure it didn't get to the president. We must find two things that I wrote to the government is we must reduce cost of governance. We must fight corruption. And three is that we must ensure that we are investing in productive and investment drive. Investment is local, investment is foreign. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Now, if that fails, the other people is a revolution. That is a people-led revolution. Since the leaders will not change, the citizens will lead a revolution to bring change, to force change on all of us.
This thing you said now, let's say you have 5 minutes President Tinubu today and he's sitting face to face with you. Is it this thing you're going to say, or you have something that you can tell him?
The same thing, Mr. President, you're doing well. You've shown so much courage. Everything is so much courage that nobody. You've done what Napoleon could not do. To stop this oil sleaze, to stop this, where somebody CPN will give you $1,000, you become a millionaire the next day. You go and sell in black exchange. Now, there's no space for that arbitrage. Yes. Everybody can get dollar now. The government has done important fundamental, which people didn't do because they felt they will fail. The government will fall. God has kept his government. He didn't fall. That's what others didn't do. It's not that Jonathan tried to do it, they push him. Even from Obasanjo, he'll do it, and then he will he'll run away and reduce it.
So it was difficult to get dollar before.
Yeah, every dollar you do, how would you get dollar? Unless you go to, and look, CBN will give you dollar. When it was 200 naira to the dollar, you buy from CBN, just you and your friend. And you go and sell 500 in the market. You make 300 naira. If you get 5,000, you become a millionaire. That's how they were.
Okay.
That was how they were. So now everybody buys at the same rate. So government has done something good. But where is that savings going to now?
That's the problem.
Yeah, we're spending it in irrelevant things, more ministries, more appointments, more sleaze, contracts that are not properly priced.
Even the fuel subsidy removal is good.
The fuel price subsidy was all. That's what I'm saying now. It's the way to stop. Do you know how much more we're losing over about 1 trillion naira every year? People were pretending that they were importing fuels. They didn't import, but they will bribe some people. They will give them paper. What was it that brought Otedola and that Malam that took dollars? They did that all the fuel importers were cheating. They went to Otedola. Otedola said he was not cheating, but his name was among those cheating. So the man said, we are going to publish your name, he'll embarrass you. He gave him dollars. He put in his cap and closed in his head. Otedola took pictures of him or somebody. So it was a good thing to stop it. If I did it, I was going to do it, but not the same way. My own way will be a gradual method. I was going to create 2 systems. All cars above X number of liters, like 4-wheel, When you come to the filling station, you are going to buy what they call premium petroleum. When you are riding down full and small cars, you ride ordinary. So premium can be 200, ordinary will be 150. You come to after 2 months, you come to the filling station. Premium is now 210. Ordinary is 152. 2 naira. It won't bother you. 10 naira for the rich, it won't bother them. Gradually, you begin, and the other mechanisms that you use to, and of course, be sure that the local refineries are working. So there are things to everybody will have done, but to remove that subsidy was ultimate. I couldn't have done it in 1 year, as the president did it just by a word and his talk. That's what is courage. But having done that, let us make sure Nigerians get the benefit. Nigerians are not getting the real benefit. Some people are. The bankers are. The oil dealers are. Oil companies are. Those digging oil are. Certain level of the society are becoming richer. The politicians are richer. Because everything is in. They are now spending dollars. But me and you, okay, let me take myself out. You, ordinary people, how much are you getting? How many people have gotten their salaries increased? How many people have gotten even more jobs? The people reading us should come down to our level. Come to the market. Let their wives go to the market. Go and price things. Let us see them go drive to the market themselves with their wives. This country will change. Number 2, we talk about unity. How? Every appointment you check, the president is making people from his area. Every appointment Buhari did, people from his area. And you're talking about unity. How will the unity happen? As if he is not conscious. As if he does not know. Or he doesn't care. I don't understand it. But those are things I'll do differently. So let me go back to your question, because you know that I can talk. So it's either we have a leadership that decides to work for the people. Even this current leadership, if they decide, if they understand what we're saying, they don't seem to understand it. What I'm saying now looks like noise or criticism. But if they will sit down and call me and say, Sam, this thing you're talking, is it not theory? How can we make it practical? I'll tell them how it is. I'll tell how you can change this country without spending too much money. How you can turn us at a united country without radio adverts. The last way to change this country is the one we're talking about. Let the young people, let's indoctrinate them, let's train them, so that when they become here, they will not be like us. Okay? Long journey to get that critical mass of young people who will change the system. Long. So it's either we have a leadership, whatever name we call them, wherever they are coming from, that decide we are determined to make this country work or we die. I tell people, if you want to be president of this country, you're afraid of, you don't want to die. You don't want to hurt people. You don't want to step on toes. Better stay at home. Stay at home.
They say whether Jonathan is coming under the PDP. Is it true?
Which kind, Jonathan? They asked one man, say, you are say the one he came before, has he gone? You know, Mr. President Jonathan is a wise person. If he really wanted office, he shouldn't have left in 2015. He had the powers. But he said, my position is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. That has given him the universal acclaim. How does he want to come and waste his time? PDP that has no structure. Is it PDP A or PDP B? Which one is going to join?
So why are you still in the PDP since there's no structure?
I'm not wanting to be president now. We are hoping that the structure will come.
Who is the candidate that will come up in that party now?
There's a candidate now.
Who?
One Senator Ono. It's our presidential candidate.
In PDP now?
Yes.
We don't even know any person.
The campaigns haven't started.
This 2027 we are at the corner. Let's say Peter Obi is sitting in front of you, Atiku is sitting in front of you, and Good Luck is sitting in front of you. We are talking about Good Luck. Let's say with Erufai, what would you tell
If all of them come, I say, see guys, do you want to be the president? They said yes. I say somebody must swallow his pride. See, We can't all be president to save this country if you think this country is worth saving. If you think this president is not doing well and opposition can beat them, opposition will not achieve it by Tinubu, Obi running differently, Atiku running differently, Nigerian running differently, Jonathan running differently. What is different from what we did in 2023? What is different?
Honestly.
I'm asking you, what's the difference? You that believes in realism, what is the difference? Are we just not hoping that magic will happen? In fact, if miracle happened the other time, it can't repeat again. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we need to either join together and say one man, go and be president. You be vice president. You are going to control petroleum. Since they love money, you control agriculture. I mean, must we? Okay, all right. At the worst, see, we're going to do what they call consensual leadership. Four of us, let's write an agreement. If I win, if you win, before you take any decision, we will all sit together. Or certain level of decisions, you bring four of us together. We sign an MOU or something like that. Even though someone may say when he wins it, the MOU may not be binding. But let it be something that will make us, if that is what we want to achieve. But as long as we are individually still wanting to be president, it will be a long walk to freedom. In which case, the only thing that can happen for this country to change is whoever wins, is it the incumbent or the other, please, come down from your high horse. You are living in a different world. You're living in a different world. You're not living in the real world. Go home. Let's have everybody come from your home today. Hire your own house. Pay your own rent. If you can't do that, reduce the number of paraphernalia of office. If you see where what is now Akpabio is going to office, you think that the Chancellor of America or the Chancellor of United Kingdom or King Fahd of Arabia is here. Ordinary, he's just a mere senator. He is just equal. What do they call it? The best among. They all equal. Those senators will just decide to be Senate president. We can bring it down one day, as they can do. Why is he living that bogus life? And they speak. When you see them speak, you see that they are not in touch with reality.
So that means the way they are all divided currently, there is no hope for 2027.
The hope is slim. That's why I bring my God again into it. God can do anything. It's only him that can make the difference. If it's not for him, if he says, you push us, do as you like, it will be difficult, my brother. It will be difficult. The reality on the ground is that it will be difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Why? I've told you all the factors. Assuming all of them have the money, equal money, so they cancel themselves. What about structure? Who has spiritual structure? Who has spiritual goodwill? Structure is so critical. Absolutely. So, but the structure does not mean, when I hear what the leader of NDC was talking the other day, I say, these people, they are still far from where we're going. If they want their own party, if they think it is easy to, they should have gone to form their own party. I say, is this man understanding what the issue is? So there's no difference between June and July. Can they be talking like that? Would they know there was, if they think themselves, is it to form party, they should form. What is it to form party to make Yanga? I thought you want to save our country. Can you say like that in the open?
We have not mentioned, on all the things you are saying, there's one place you fail to also put into the picture. Because you are looking at Lazo, it's only Nigerians that have the problem. You have failed to look at the colonial masters. Don't you think they have influence in ensuring the leadership that happens in this country?
It's a lie. They have interest, but they cannot influence it in any. They are not the ones who vote.
They can't, you know what?
They don't vote. They are not INEC. The people INEC are Nigerians. The people are police and Nigerians.
Do you know that they influence INEC to do what they want them to do?
It's not the same if it's about money. So what are they using to influence INEC? It's not money. Anybody can influence INEC if you have money. So leave out those issues. That is, for me, it's defeatist, it's escapist. There is nothing any foreign. The foreign people, whatever their needs are, what do they do in their own home? Do they rig elections in their homes? They don't. Despite all the accusations of Trump against rigging, nobody has been able to prove that any election was rigged in America. If he was looking for reason, he couldn't have become president twice. He just is a man who has a different reality. If he doesn't say a thing, if he doesn't win, he has lost. It's a crazy point to make sometimes. But the issue is that we should not call any colonial master. Colonial people are looking after their countries. Their countries are doing well. They have welfare system. They have support system. They have good roads. They have health insurance that is working. When you work, you earn a decent living. You know, they have safety. If you have accident on the road, somebody, if you have wound, you call. 119 will be here. They'll carry you away. There's an accident on the road. Car, before you, 2 minutes, the accident is cleared. The roads work. You can. How can colonial masters don't want us to work in that? What is their profit?
To make sure they destroy your resources.
Which how?
Resources.
Which one?
If they keep you poor, they steal your resources.
How do they keep you poor?
By making sure that you guys don't do the right thing that will liberate the nation.
It's a lie. What about which kind colonial power will be more than what they tried to do in Iran recently? What America and all they went to do in Iran. Iran is standing and resisting America. America is now running around begging Iran.
Africa is different too.
Why? Are they different human beings? We're not created by the same God.
Imperial.
Forget that. That is escapist. That is escapist. I went through the colonial training. See, I was telling you in 1986, 86, I went to America. And after a training, I was national sales manager. After a training program or group sales manager, I was nominated the best participating sales manager out of 106 countries that attended that training. When we left that day, the people came around me. Hey, Sam, how are you? I said, which university did you go to? I said, University of Ife. They say, University of where? I say, Ife. Where's that one? I say, Nigeria. He said, Nigeria? Do you have good universities in Nigeria? I said, yes. We have University of Ife, University of Benin, University of Ibadan, Ahmadu Bello University. I started calling them. They say, really? Sam, do you mean there are smart guys like you in Nigeria? Smart guys? Millions of them, 1 million of Nigerians. Am I smart? If I'm smart, 100 millions are better than me. Then one old man came near and said, you have good universities, you have smart people. Why is your country the way it is?
How is it?
So you are blaming the same person who is asking the question, why is your country the way it is?
There are people.
There are people like, no, don't sell that crap to me. I worked for a multinational. I beat them in exams. I was promoted when it was time for me to be promoted. There was no attempt by the It is Nigerians who wanted to pull me down when they wanted to raise me. They were colonial people. They didn't put anybody else who wasn't competent.
That's business aspect. In business aspect,
it's the same thing. Business and
leadership. They want to steal your resources.
No, it's not true. You are being sold bullshit. I can't buy that. They have issues. Why are they keeping you down? They are busy going to the moon, going to the sun, going to the. You are still here struggling, quarreling about oil, quarreling about.
Don't you think they have influence in the terrorism that is happening in the north?
They don't have nothing. There are those who are terrorists who are ideologically disposed to terrorism. They say book is not good. Islamic fundamentalism. They have no issue. Their hands are not there at all. That is absolute lie. Yes, foreign supporters, yes, but it's not colonial masters. Colonial masters is not UK. Is it not America? Mm-hmm. Who are you? Sweden or Norway?
UK and America especially.
They have no such thing. If they wanted to hold this country down, they shouldn't have given us independence. When they gave us independence, they don't fight a battle. They don't shoot gun. They had right to hold us down and be sucking our...
The indirect independence they gave us.
They appointed Nigerians. Nigerians ran Nigeria. This country was better.
I saw a video.
In the 50s, when I went to secondary school, when I went to primary school, even to start university, this country was a better place for me.
I saw a video during the independence when they made Azikiwe the ceremonial leader. And he was saying he's going to serve the Queen of England. Is it not indirect rule?
What?
When Azikiwe was saying in one of his speech, when they made him the ceremonial president, that he's going to serve the Queen of England and all of that.
Yeah, he'll serve it because that is the hierarchy at the time. There is a hierarchy of governance. His Majesty was the head. So in terms of governance, you have to obey your head. It doesn't matter where your head
was
from.
Independence. So.
Which what? It was part of, it was independence. Either it was part of when we were part of Commonwealth before we got a republic. Those things are complete escapists. There's no way any colonial man, I don't buy that. I don't believe so. That is history. We've come of age. We can change our situation if we want. That we are here, I shouldn't blame anybody. We're adults, we should take responsibility for our behavior. I don't walk past.
Okay, I want us to round off now, and these are quick questions.
Okay.
I'll ask you, you just give me quick answers on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, can Nigeria ever produce a good quality leader? Let's remove, okay, God can do everything. Realistically, can Nigeria produce a good leadership in the last 20 years?
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
You know, why we got here today was the military that intervened. If military didn't intervene in 1966 or in 1982 or 83, when Buhari came, Nigeria would be a better country. You know why? You see, we will have learned from our mistakes. You know, we will have learned from our mistakes. We'll have learned from our mistake. Every organism, so the way God said things, we learn from. Even you learn from your mistakes. You get better. Nigeria, where it is intervention of the military that changed the value, that changed our value system. It became no longer merit. It became prebendalism and who do you know who? You know, things are done by fiat. You go to work, they say you're no longer working today. No rule, no process. You know, whether there's a employee-employer relationship, doesn't it? Those kind of things change the system. And that's part of what we're suffering. We began to learn to do things by force instead of by negotiation. So if we have been left the way we are, we'll have done better. So this electoral system, we're democracy. That's why I pray, even though I speak about a revolution. Now, the revolution, I'm not talking about bloody revolution. I am speaking about a revolution that is people-driven. The people are tired. So they can decide that this next election, nobody will take money from anybody. Nobody, you know, these things we are talking, will do what is right. That is the revolution I'm speaking about from the local. Change themselves. Since our leaders can't change themselves or change us, let's change our leaders through our own change. Now, that is how a country can get better. So it's possible. Over time, we learn. We suffer some consequences because for everything we do wrong, we see the consequence. And we'll get one day, we'll know that that is not the road to go. It's a normal, a child comes here, he puts his hand on that thing, he burns him. He tries a second time, he will now touch it, know that this is bad. So human systems. But when it's being disrupted by the military intervention, we lost it. When the military were living, they brought people thought like them, people that can keep them still in office, who they can command and control. That's where we are. We're not finished with that regime. We'll get to the place one day we'll meet the pharaohs who the pharaohs who didn't know Joseph, or the Joseph who didn't know Pharaoh. They will change. You'll get a generation of Nigerians who, or by the way of time evolution, social engineering, natural growth, will emerge.
Can it happen in the next 20 years?
20 years may be, let's say in the next 50 years. 20 years may be too soon because the old elements were still remnants. Remnants of the old elements and the apologies, you know. Because, take for example, there are some states you go to. The younger men are more virulent than even the older ones. Those who have sucked blood money, have sucked oil money, have sucked stolen money, they are crazier than those who is ahead of them. So it will take maybe up to 50 years for the evolution to happen on its own, the way I've described, learning and correcting, learning and correcting.
So let me come back to quick questions. Are we progressing or just surviving?
Yeah, I mean in the country.
Yes.
We are just surviving.
Is democracy working in Nigeria?
It is working inefficiently.
Inefficiently.
It's still working, but it's work because I have seen military rule, I've seen dictatorship. Nigeria's democracy is a shade better than all those, but it's still better. Still better than dictatorship, still better than military rule. Because we've seen military rule, it didn't take us anywhere. It pretended to take us forward, but it brought us back.
What is the biggest lie Nigerians believe about politics?
Well, that the belief about politics in Nigeria is that it doesn't matter how we behave, we expect our political leaders to be saints. We can be devils, but the political leader, we're looking for saints to be our leader.
Can integrity win elections in Nigeria?
Someday.
Do political parties choose candidates or do powerful interests choose candidates?
Powerful interests choose candidates.
You have answered the same thing I said the other
I
time.
know the way you
were still whining it.
No, I know
you said it was not so.
No, powerful interests
Exactly.
choose candidates. But what I said is that powerful interest cannot choose candidates without our compliance. The political party is made of people, and those who have interests. So it's whose interest is bigger than the other. And what makes your interest bigger than my own is the ability to fund it.
What is the most dangerous thing happening in Nigerian politics today?
The most dangerous thing,
yes,
is that Nigerian politicians are not looking at service, at sacrifice. They are looking at service or opportunities to make wealth, opportunities to become influential, an opportunity to ride roughshod on those they claim they have come to serve.
One reason why Nigerians keep electing people they later complain about
is because they have short memories, and they sooner or later they forget the pains when they get a small end of the chocolate. They get little chocolates in their mouths. They forget the pains, and then they make the same mistake.
If competence alone determined elections, who will be leading Nigeria today?
Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa will be leading this country.
All right. And finally, what is the one truth Nigerian that every young Nigerian must understand before they can help build the country that you dream about?
Is that we must take personal responsibility. Expecting the next person to change will not push the umbrella. I change. And when I change, I can demand a change. I cannot be committing crimes and I'm asking somebody to not do. This is what our problem, where there's so much unrighteousness, so much hypocrisy. We're not true, we're fake. Many people are fake. They say one thing and do another thing. Young people determine, like Daniel, I will not corrupt myself with the food of the king, and remain that. Determine, like Joseph, I will not sleep with this woman and sin against God. And God elevated Joseph, became the prime minister of Egypt. God took Daniel. He became one of the greatest leaders, even in Mesopotamia. That still happens today. But the example some of us have laid may not have helped. But I still know there are people who have laid good examples. When I look in front of me, I look at the Hiweres, I look at the Kola Days, I look at the Professor Anyas, I look at the such people, who have led organizations, corporate Nigeria. And those are my mentors, that people I looked up to, And even if you look at the political limelight, you won't forget people like Nnamdi Azikiwe. You won't forget Obafemi Awolowo. You won't forget Ononoka Mbakwe. You will not even forget, not too long ago, people who have set clean examples and have been unassailable in their political lives, who have held offices and you can't hold anything against them. Look at Peter Obi today. There are few governors in his class who are able to look EFCC in the face. They are still good people that you can look up to.
Finally, is that something you'd like to say that I didn't ask you?
Well, I think we've said all there is to be said. The only thing I would like to say is that righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach to every people. There is no way to save Nigeria except to have righteousness and righteous leaders. And righteousness is not being holier than thou. Righteousness is not being, is not the one that speaks in tongues or shouts the name of God more. It's the one that fears God, because they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Anybody who fears God, keeps his commandments, is the one that will live in righteousness. And that is what will save our country. May God bring righteous leaders to our nation. In Jesus' name, amen.
So, and it's Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, former presidential aspirant under the PDP. Sir, this book, how can they get it if people want this your book? Driven by revelation and inspiration.
This book is available in Amazon. It's available in some bookshops. And it's available in our office. Mr. Dennis Wachku is in charge of this book. We have so many other people in different parts of the country. In the north, we have Emeka. In the southeast, we have other people. So the books are available. But the problem with Nigerian book system, we have no books, we have no publishers. You produce your book, somebody prints them, you sell them. You take them to a bookshop, they will keep it there. If they sell, you collect money. If they don't sell, the book will rot there. Sometimes you spend more time going to look whether they've sold than even the cost of the book. So go to Amazon, download the book, and that's the
it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for this episode. So guys, thank my guest, Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, for this very highly inspiring session. This is like the fourth of having him here, and it's always very inspiring and very enlightening to have him here. I'm your very host, Benzik. This is Selahmeditate podcast. Thank my guest, Mazi Sam.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you. Keep up the good job.
Thank you, sir.
Proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Making progress every day.
Thank you,
that
sir.
will continue to lift you up.
Amen. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So, guys, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, share it with as many that will find this valuable. I remember your host again, Benzik. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.